Let's take a look at the equation that we have, and then looking at the directions, it says write the equation of the circle in standard form. So we're going to write this equation, and we want to write it in, well, standard form of a circle. And the standard form of a circle, here it is, it's going to look like this by the time we're done. X minus h squared, y minus k squared equals r squared. And we're going to make it look like that. So this is a lot like the very first one we did, but it's not. So in the very first one we did, we had x squared, and then we had a number here, and then we had a number here. We don't have a number here. And we jumped straight to the y's, and we don't need that. We need something here to make it a perfect square trinomial, and we just used these skills. So then we're going to have y squared minus 2y, and oh, I need another number here. Now, you might look at that 4 and say, okay, well, what about the 4? What about the 4? Who cares? That 4 is in my way. Even if the 4 was the number that I wanted, the way I do these, I just like to push that constant to the other side and say, you know what, you're going. Okay, so whatever, a lot of stuff on this board. Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. So in a minute, I'm going to add a number here. I better add it on the right side as well. I'm going to add a number here. I better add it here as well. So these will be the same and these will be the same. And then I just use the skills that I just learned. I'm going to take the number with my x, then I half it, then square it. I'm going to take half of 4, and then I'm going to square it, and I'm going to get, well, 4. Half of 4 is 2, square it is 4. So over here we have a 4. I'm going to take half of negative 2, that's negative 1, then I'm going to square it, and I get a positive 1, which is why I had that plus there anyway. So plus 1 and plus 1. Okay, and now it looks almost exactly like that first problem we did, where I can take all this and group it together, all the x's and an extra term that makes it special and makes it work, and all the y's and an extra term that makes it special and makes it work. And then I was about to put parentheses here, but don't, because all I'm going to do here is just, well, math. 4 plus 4 plus 1, that would be 9. If you're looking ahead, that's your radius squared, which means your radius is, I'm not going to tell you. You can figure it out. Okay, here goes. Y, why not? Y minus, okay, we have a couple options here. Where does this number come from? Well, on the previous stuff we did, it was half of that. You could also say it's the square root of that. You're gonna have to take that sign, but it's the square root of that. There we go. So the next one, or the first one, if you're going the opposite direction, x plus, well, we take half of 4. And this works. Like if I was to write x plus 2 times x plus 2 and FOIL it out, I'd get this right here. And so we're done. Now, the directions on the paper, if you're following along with that, did say find the center and the radius. I'm not going to graph it, and you could, but why do that? Because we got what we need here. The center is at negative 2, positive 1. The radius is the square root of 9, so the radius is 3. Okay, but let's do a couple more, and they don't get trickier necessarily. The only hard part about them is the fact that we might have to do some crazy stuff with fractions. Oh no, might not. And we might have to rearrange some stuff before we ever begin. So I say that looking at this one saying, oh, all my x's were together, all my y's were together, and it was fine. I need to arrange things sometimes. So let's erase what we have. This next one, I don't think it's too wild and crazy. The last one is. Okay, the next one says x squared minus 10x plus y squared plus 2y equals negative 10. Okay, so if you're looking ahead and you're knowing what to do and you've got this and you know where to put your blanks, then go for it. I'm not gonna force you to watch this. You can pause it, skip it, mute it, whatever, do the problem. I'm going to keep working it out. I do recommend you try it on your own though. So I have a couple x's here. I need another term. So I need x squared, whoops, minus, not plus. So minus 10x plus something plus y squared plus 2y plus something and equals negative 10 plus something and something. Okay? So again, all my x's are together and I need another term. All my y's are together and I need another term. So let's start figuring out what it is. I take the number with my x, 10. I half it. And then I square it. Half of that squared is 25. And then I'll put a 25 here. I take the number with my y, in this case, and I'll half it, and I'll square it, and that's a 1. Okay, so over here on the right side, we have negative 10 plus 25 plus 1. That's going to give me 16. Hey, that's perfect square. How convenient. And then this factors into y plus 1 squared. Looking ahead, the center is going to be something common negative 1. And over here, we're going to have x minus 5. I'm pointing at 25 and saying 5 because it's the square root. I could say x minus and then half of that. There we go. So my center is at, positive 5, negative 1. And the radius is the square root of 16, which is 4. Okay, not too bad. We got it. The next one is still not that bad. It just takes a little rearranging at first. So I'm going to erase. I'm erasing too much. Feel free to pause the video. And I have x squared plus y squared minus 6x plus 12y minus 4 equals 0. Oh, we have a mess. We have a mess in a lot of ways. And mess number 1, my x's aren't together. Mess number 2, my y's aren't together. Mess number 3, he's on the wrong side. Again, I'm looking over here and I'm saying blah, 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 blah equals a number squared. So before I'm done with this thing, that 4 is going to move over. It was negative, now it's positive. Okay, I need my x's all to be together in the same place. So x squared and no, yes. Negative 6 has, I know I'm going to need that. So there's this one. And then y squared plus 12y, and I know I'm going to need that. So there we go. All right, let's go fast because we got this. And at this point, it's just a process that we're used to. So half of that is 3. Square it is 9. Half of that is negative 3. When you square it, you still get a positive. Half of that is 6. Square it, 36. So 9, 36. I'm going to go from right to left this time. These go together, and that, of course, all adds together. They're like terms, just plain old numbers with no variables. X minus 3 squared. Y plus 6 squared equals 49. So the center of this is at 3, negative 6. The radius is the square root of 49, which would be 7.